Cut out the jibber jabber. Don't be babbling like a fool. Say what you got to say. That's all. Then shut your dang pie hole.
Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. We're blasting out of the bunker top speed as I obey all traffic laws. Yes, folks, I am back. And I want to thank Jim for waking up at the RMZ and having to step in a little bit, do a little bit of actual work. Yes, thank you for supporting Mr. Jim as well. Yes, YouTube gave us a strike, and then YouTube tooketh it back. And trust me, folks, a moment of clarity, or at least by one of their manual reviewers, does not exonerate them of the evil that they are perpetrating. Yes, folks, evil. Evil is real. Evil exists. Evil has its heroes, and evil, folks, knows no bounds, is not restricted by truth or fact. Evil is what it is. It's not a myth. It's not a fairy tale. Evil exists. Evil is not rare. Evil is every place on the planet. Evil is real. It's time that we stop pretending it doesn't, and that it's small, and that it can be controlled, and that it's merely used to scare children and tell stories around campfires. It's not. Evil is real. It's real. Now, there are doctors. Doctors are supposed to be like gods. They're treated like gods. Oh my God, that person said something. They're a doctor. It must be true. Well, it's true unless another doctor says so, and then it's not true. Or if a politician says it's not true, or if someone in social media says it's not true, right? Doctors are only, brilliant if we say they are, but doctors. There are doctors groups, folks, in this country who want to do gender change surgery and give gender change drugs to children. Children. They're not adults, so they don't have adult rights. They can't vote. They can't own guns. Right? They can't drive a car. They can't own property because they're not competent as adults. That's the whole deal with being a child. You don't have the same rights except to life. You're not allowed to kill children. Oh, wait, we'll discuss more of that later. Evil exists, folks, and says, yeah, kids, you can make a decision about health, something about which you have no clue. Children know nothing about long-term damage caused by hormones. Children know nothing about the psychological damage caused by gender dysphoria and lying, right? Lying is not good. Lying is a bad thing. Lying is evil when it hurts other people, right? Especially children, the innocent. Still, folks, evil exists. Doctors are wanting to silence people who are exposing their hospitals and their techniques and what they're doing because they don't want people to know the evil that they're up to. Not all doctors, folks, but just enough, right? Just enough. Isn't that enough? Shouldn't that be enough? It should be. That should be all it takes. It really should be all it takes is to know that children are being harmed by this, but they're being silent. Didn't we hear that silence is violence? Yeah, back in 2018, 2019, 2020. Silence is violence. You must stand up. You must scream and yell, right? They're claiming silence is violence, but now the left wants to silence you. They want to silence me. I thought silence is violence. Well, let's continue with evil, folks. And let's put away all the bullshit. The belief that evil doesn't exist is a childhood fantasy that is brought into reality by adults who are evil. Right? Putin himself has used the word Satanists. He's also used the word Nazis. And we're like, okay, Putin, we got you there, big boy. Yeah, denazification of Ukraine. Yet the Azov battalion is Nazi. And we're told by Democrats in America that right-wing supremacists are neo-Nazis. Anyone who disagrees with them is a Nazi. So they invoke evil, folks, and the fear of it as if it's real, and then point to you because you have a difference of opinion. They call us evil while they themselves embody evil in their belief systems. Stealing your money is evil, but they use the justification that government is legitimate and therefore that theft is acceptable. Telling others to shut up and silencing them and punishing them, well, that's evil. If I were to take duct tape and put it over Democrats' mouths, they would scream that that's evil. That's wrong. Silencing them is violence, but to silence you is just fine, right? Literal, folks. And again, evil is real. Evil exists. Satanists. That's right, folks. People who believe in Satanism. Satanism, folks. Satan means adversary. What is Satanism then? It is the adversary of humanity and life. Right? God creates life, Satan takes it. Evil takes it. Satan is evil. So there are groups out there, evil groups, with evil members. And what are they saying? Their belief systems are their religion, and I'm sure they are. But evil, right, has to be allowed to do what it wants. They're suing in court, right, saying abortion violates their right to practice their religion. Governments, folks, governments have been created to protect the rights of people, to serve the people, to serve good. Satanists say, well, it's their right to kill babies. We're going to have a much bigger discussion about abortion. There's just no way around this. There's just no way around this. The evil that is here, folks, is astounding. It has incredible hubris to stand up and say, we must be recognized as evil, the Satanists. We must be allowed to exist and live, and we have to be allowed to practice our belief system. Folks, did anyone ever say and defend Hitler and say, well, he has to be allowed to practice his belief system? His religion was killing Jews and killing gypsies and killing Germans who didn't support him and killing everyone else on the planet. As long as he says it's fine, shouldn't his religion and his belief system be accepted? Well, the answer is obviously no, right? Obviously no. Now, slavery, right, isn't necessarily killing someone, even though it did happen to slaves, and a lot of them. I'm sure of it, right? But, I mean, it's not killing people, so shouldn't it be allowed? I mean, they're making choices. Somewhere someone made a choice. Shouldn't that be allowed? Shouldn't their freedom of expression and their belief system be paramount? No, folks. See, that's lawlessness. To allow people to make decisions based on whatever they want and what they believe isn't in and of itself right. That itself is an evil premise. Evil is not Dr. Evil, a comedy show on Austin Powers movies. Evil is real. And if you look around, you see what evil is doing. Evil wants to inject you. And evil lies and said, well, you have to allow it because the majority says so. The government says so. That's the lie. The great lie. The lie that they continue to use. I'm not buying it anymore. I'm calling evil out for what it is. Call out evil, folks. It needs to be called out and exposed. Silence is violence. Silence truly is violence. It's allowing the violence against unborn babies. It's allowing silence. It's allowing the media to lie to us. It's allowing government to lie to us, liars to lie to us. Dr. Fauci, good or evil? Don't tell me he's benign. Don't tell me he's neutral. Doctors are not bad. They just have decisions to make that are very difficult. And same with politicians. Politicians aren't evil. They're just making the difficult decisions. It's not difficult, folks, to stand up for life. I mean, look at it. That really is it. It's life that matters and life that needs to be defended. That's the point of government. Government isn't to defend itself. Government is in place to defend people from evil. That's its true and legitimate purpose. Yet what do we have now? Government is an agent of evil. Government is an evil thing when it allows the death of others, when it allows lies, when it punishes truth. Folks, evil's real. And I know people are like, oh, yawn, yeah, we know evil's bad. Do you? Are you fighting evil? Do you see what it's doing to the world? That complacency, and I'm not picking on you guys, I'm picking on the rest of the planet. That complacency with evil is exactly why we're at where we're at. Allowing evil to exist. Is communism good or is communism evil? Communism has killed 100 million people in the last 100 years. Communism is evil. It steals property. It punishes those who have done nothing wrong except oppose it. It steals, it kills, it maims, it lies, it murders. Communism is evil. And by default, because it serves no purpose but evil, it helps nobody except itself. It is evil. Communism should be illegal. It should be outlawed. It should be chased from our midst, gone forever. But freedom of speech, man, freedom of thought, you got to allow us. It's evil. Communism and socialism are evil, period. They need to be eradicated. Satanists are evil. They want evil things. They want to corrupt children. And by corrupt, I don't mean just teach them to question authority. No, questioning authority is good, but it's not allowed now, not by you, certainly. You are not allowed to question shit. You're being told you're evil, folks. And we point it out every day. You pay your taxes, you obey the laws. You are moral and decent. You don't do anything wrong. Nobody is hurt by your actions, yet they call you evil. They say you're bad. You're the enemy, and they are at war with us, folks. Who is at war with us? Those who want evil. Evil's not a joke. And anyone who claims that the bad guys are evil shouldn't be laughed at, scoffed, or ignored. They are evil. They are Satanists by their own admission. And if they don't admit it, they ally themselves with evil. They claim to be the same as Satanists, even though they don't use the S word. Because, you know, that means you're a quack. You're a screwball if you believe any of that. Yet there they are, folks, now publicly proclaiming themselves Satanists. And what do they want? They want death. They want murder. They want their way. Yet they want to pretend like there's nothing wrong with them and what they're doing. Folks, you and I know it. I know we kind of chuckle and we kind of laugh and we're under our breath. We're like, fuck, Satanists are for real? Right? Give me a break. No, folks. They are just the ones who are most brave and most proud of the evil that they are. Communists, Satanists, unbelievable. Remember when Democrats, that's right, folks, Democrats during the Vietnam War and after called the military baby killers? That was their big attack. You're baby killers. And that justified spitting on them, throwing rocks, apples, tomatoes, insults. Baby killers. That's what the Democrats called soldiers and Marines when they returned from Vietnam. Even though government, good government or evil government, sent them there. Man, you're doing what the government wants. You're a bunch of baby killers. Now, Democrats are like, yeah, baby killing good. If you want to, you kill all the babies you want. Right? It's exactly what they believe. Calling other people baby killers was an excuse for their violence, for their voices to be raised and be heard and allowed. These people are just pure evil. You see why censorship is evil. The United Nations is evil. What is it doing? It's calling for the destruction of your food supply, your standard of living, your lives even. They control. They're the science. They are censors, folks. They're silencing people. They want to take away your right to defend yourself. They want to take your property and money and give it to others. Tell me that that's not evil. Now, when we sit back in society, we sit back and we watch and we're like, yeah, things are bad for some people, but it doesn't affect me too much. So it must be okay. It's fine, right? It's not a big deal. I'm not suffering because of all of the evil out there. Have it happen to you and you'll feel the evil, folks. You can feel it when a cop pulls you over and says, you were swerving. And you're like, no, I wasn't. Well, you're getting a ticket anyway. Are you driving impaired? When was the last time you had alcohol? Right now you're getting the 3rd degree from a cop. And you folks, everyone I've ever talked to that feels mistreated by the police says that's evil. When it comes home and it affects you directly, you point it out and call it evil. Right? When you see it with your own eyes, you go, holy shit, those were Satanists. They're flying flags. They've got tattoos on their fucking body saying they're Satanists. They love Satan. They love evil. Now I've seen it. Right? When you get beat up by a gang, when you get attacked by a group who is out to hurt you for no reason other than they don't like you, you know what evil is, folks. You know it. You suffer it individually. What do you think the baby feels in its body as it's dying and being ripped apart in an abortion? Do you think it doesn't feel? Do you think because it's not on TV, because it's not public, it's being done in the privacy of a hospital room? The terror that must be felt, the screams and pain, that's evil, folks. I know life isn't fair, and I know there's a lot of pain and terror for everyone. But understanding, right, the difference between good and evil, it's not a small issue. I'm tired of people excusing evil and allowing it to exist and giving false logical fallacies in support of evil. I'm tired of it. Tired of people just pretending it's not a big deal. It's just a small, minor matter that we need to, overcome, and that people will grow up and figure it out. No, they don't. What evil figures out, folks, is it can get away with everything if nobody questions it, speaks against it, stops it, right? That requires you to take action. As a prepper, you're taking action. Food, water, right? Shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, yada, yada, yada. You take action. The time is coming when you're going to have to take action just to save your own life. Evil is real. And chance favors the prepared mind. Semper Fi. God bless America. And God protect us all.